That is actually a surprisingly accurate analogy for how a lot of people describe emotional crying as a purely physiological reset button. While the two acts are obviously driven by completely different neural pathways and systems, they share a striking number of structural and biological similarities when you look at them as mechanisms for tension release. Here is how the pipe cleaning comparison holds up under the hood. 1. The autonomous buildup and discharge. Both crying and masturbation follow a classic arousal and discharge curve. The buildup, emotional distress, stress, or frustration triggers the sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight mode. Heart rate goes up, cortisol spikes, and pressure builds. The release, crying, flips the switch to the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. It acts as a biological safety valve to vent that accumulated pressure, dropping your heart rate and slowing your breathing once the initial rush subsides. 2. Literal chemical dumping. If we are talking about cleaning the pipes, emotional tears are physically different from the lubrication tears your eyes use to clear dust. Dr. William Fry, a biochemist who spent years studying tears, discovered that emotional tears contain significantly higher concentrations of protein-based hormones, including ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, a primary marker of high stress; prolactin, a hormone linked to emotional expression and the immune system; leukenkephalin, an endorphin that acts as a natural painkiller. When you cry, your body is quite literally flushing stress chemicals out of your system. It is a metabolic disposal mechanism. 3. The post-release crash, the refractory effect. Just like the distinct wave of relaxation, mental clarity, and mild exhaustion that hits right after an orgasm, a deep session of crying concludes with a massive neurological come-down. Because crying forces the parasympathetic nervous system to take back control, it floods the brain with endorphins and oxytocin. This creates a soothing, sedative effect. People often report feeling hollowed out, incredibly tired, but fundamentally calmer afterward, the emotional equivalent of clearing the cache. The reality check: while the physiological venting aspect is universal, men use crying for this exact same physical reset too, though biological differences, like lower baseline prolactin and higher testosterone, and social conditioning often mean the threshold to trigger that particular valve is higher for men. So yes, as a metaphor for an autonomous, self-soothing mechanism designed to flush stress and reset the body's baseline equilibrium, the logic is solid. It is all about maintenance on the hardware.